Imagine that you've been a dork when you entered high school. That was a year ago. Well, everyone is still probably going to be thinking of you as the same dork even now as you've been slowly changing. And this is the beauty of self-improvement, but also specifically with moving somewhere else. What you're probably going to find, the way that I would explain this, even though you might not be able to relate or understand, but the way that it's always been in my mind. Here is like how people treat you. Here is where you are. So it should be equal, right? But once someone's already had the first impression of you, it's pretty much set in stone. Maybe it moves slightly as you know your level up moves very slightly like this. And so when you're improving yourself, there's always like this discrepancy where you've improved yourself. You're here, but people treat you like you're here, and it goes like this, where there's a bit of a difference, and you're moving at like a faster level than they're perceiving your difference. Whereas when you go move somewhere else, let's say you go on a little trip somewhere, let's say you move out for college or for university or anything, essentially straight away you're up here. Everyone now treats you here because everyone's like looking at you there. Does that make sense? So it's like everyone's perception of you updates. And the thing is, you can't change someone's first impression. All you could do is kind of disappear from the world and come back so that the updating effect can happen. That's going to be tricky because essentially what you're probably asking about people in school, it's going to be tricky, especially if you're in like the middle of the year. If for example you really change yourself over the summer break, then you come back and you know you lost loads of weight and you've got muscle and you've got a better fashion sense, then you will feel this difference of like people's perception of you being updated and you know you're attractive right now. As the days go on and you feel like you've been changing so much because you've been watching my videos, people aren't automatically going to treat you better. And this is a bit of a tricky part of self-improvement because it almost seems to make it feel like you're not improving at all. And this is probably why a lot of people quit. Honestly, the advice that I can think of is you've just got to bear through it. You got to keep improving yourself. You got to keep understanding there's going to be this difference of you, where you are, where they're perceiving you, and just look forward to the times when there can be like an updating effect. And that's why it's so good if you've been on self-improvement, when you go move out of your house and you go to live somewhere else, or if you go like on a big trip or something and you know you're around new people, because they'll treat you better. This is also why people who are on self-improvement, who have been reinventing themselves, end up not staying with their original group of friends, because the original group of friends still treat you like you're here, they look at you here, you've moved up here, but they're still looking at you as if you're there. Well, then when you make a new group of friends, they're up here. How to reinvent yourself to people who've seen you before? It's not really going to happen. Not like realistically. Of course, you could have a huge change. You could win the lottery, or you could get really profitable business and everything changes for you. And even then, people's perception of you is still going to be relatively the same. So just keep that in mind and honestly keep going. Just know that the people who you're trying to essentially impress right now, they're not even that important. Within a few years, you're going to end up getting next to people who have this new perception of you, who treat you exactly how you are now, and you'll want to be next to those people. It's just the way that it works.